Right, hello everyone, welcome back to Nagash, which is a channel dedicated to Age of Sigmar, and in this video we are going to be talking about the news, as always, from Warhammer community. And in this particular video, what we're going to be talking about is the update and the sort of preview news of what we can expect to see Path to Glory in the narrative side of Age of Sigmar, and we're also going to look at the, quote-unquote news of the Sylvaneth, which is probably not going to be much news, as I, as normal, have not read through any of this yet. All I've done is basically just skimmed through it, got the pictures for the thumbnail. I haven't read through it, so you're going to get my first honest reaction thoughts. Like, again, the Sylvaneth stuff, hopefully it's news. A lot of these armies have not been news. They started off with talking about the Stormcast and the Cruel Boys, but because they've literally got books coming, that's why we see news. And compared to where we have the Hidden Knights of Slaanesh, Ostrich Bone Reapers, Slaves of Darkness, I think that was all the ones we covered so far, hasn't really been any news. So, we'll get to that if it's news or not. But really what we're going to see in news of is going to be what we see in the narrative side. So this is a big part of what I'm interested in. As I've said to you guys, that I am definitely interested in playing some more, narrative style games in comparison to just going, full competitive match play, only caring about victory points all the time. I want to put more effort and focus into the story of my games, as I think the story and the lore is what massively drives me, and I think a lot of other people, into Warhammer. So hopefully I'm not going to be disappointed, as I'm looking at this with very optimistic eyes, like I was for the Ostrich Bone Reaper update yesterday. Jesus Christ. But I can see that we have got Poet in the chat saying, big wins and Tree Boys, let's go. Oh, that's very cool. Be interesting to see that. Oh, and Poet again has been an absolute chat. What's the right word? Lad, that's it. Chap, lad, whatever you want to call. And has chucked 99 cents towards the channel. So thank you very much about that, Poet. Never goes unnoticed. Thank you so much for your very kind generosity. And then we've got Slothman saying, glory to Tree Folk. So if you guys already read the article, I'm now getting positive vibes. Maybe I'm not going to be negative this time. Shall we? Who knows? It's all a mystery. As always, when we go over this, please let me know your thoughts, as Sloth and Poet have already done in the chat. And if you watch this on demand, don't forget to put in the comments, and I will read it later, and I will respond to you, because it'd just be interesting to hear your thoughts and your own reactions to the news that we are just being fed news all the time now, aren't we? So always good to hear what your thoughts are on every day, and always good to stay on top of it. So let me know in the chat. And like you did yesterday, let me know where you guys are watching from, as that's something I always find more interesting. And it's something that I haven't really, I didn't really start asking until yesterday. And I find that really interesting. So yeah, let me know where you guys are from. Poet is saying, my best experience of Warhammer AOS was absolutely the 6-player Path to Glory. Okay, yeah, so this is how new I am. PTG, trying to learn the action. So Path to Glory campaign at my local store. So excited with how they merged it with Crusade. Okay, that's cool. So I'm going to just going to respond to Sandor, and then Poet is saying he's watching from Midwest USA. So that's awesome to hear. And then I'm just going to see what Sandor's put. So Sylvaneth seems to be benefit a lot from the new rules. Also, the new Broken Realms Cragness rules for Sylvaneth for Awaken Wildwoods is key. That's great. Sylvaneth need all the help they can get, right? So that's good. And just to say what you're saying about Poet, yeah, I think like the best games I had of Age of Sigmar, like one of them is played on a board, 6x4 foot board, each board panel, typical Games Workshop board. The whole thing's made out of ice, and you have to roll a dice at the end of each turn to see if one stick for the board would sink. And it was amazing. And I had Iron Jaws against a Free People's Army, or like Cities of Sigmar now. And what happened, all was left at the end of the board was one Weird Knob Shaman left on the board who was frozen in time. Like that's just the really wacky stuff you can have in narrative. And it was great fun. And then we've got Ian Cloud. What I was about to, I hope you didn't put that before I said that story, because I definitely did not see it. So Ian was the person that I fought against with that with the Weird Knob Shaman, and his poor Hydra exploded, and because it froze and exploded, and the shattering of the ice of the Hydra slaughtered. I want to say probably about a fifth of your army, which was a fun time. So I think I had a unit of 10 brutes, and when they went to charge, 5 of them slipped over. And 5 of them slipped over, and they died because I rolled a 1 for each model that charged, and I rolled a dice for each model that charged, and on a 1 they slipped over and they died. So I had a unit of 10 brutes charge, 5 of them died on the charge against Iron Breakers. I think I remember it. Oh, so what a nice coincidence. And they said, no, I heard as I came on, what a coincidence. Ian, fantastic guy. We're gonna have to have a game when we can all meet up and stuff at some point, not too far away for sure. And then we've got Redempson, hi from South Africa. Oh, I think they're the first person who said that they're from South Africa watching before, so that is cool to hear. And with all of this aside, as we go through this, let me know your thoughts and let's have a read, shall we? So, first thing it says is take your army on a personal narrative campaign in the new edition of Path to Glory. Okay, and Path to Glory is something that, when I've had a quick look at it, it didn't seem very balanced because, like, the old and the new books, Legion of the Nagash could start with a Vampire Lord and Zombie Dragon. Ostrich Bone Reapers could start with a Liege Cabios. Like, so there was, like, you know, a difference, and hopefully they're all going to be on the same sort of level. I do really like this picture here because that just really lovely summarizes the Path to Glory, especially in, like, you know, the Slaves of Darkness side. So you got like the Marauder, Chaos Warrior, and then the Chaos Lord. So this is one of the greatest parts of the Warhammer hobby, is taking your miniatures and making them your own, whether it be a custom paint scheme, a detailed backstory, or anything else you can think of. Now the revolutionized Path to Glory system will give you even more tools to craft your own unique army as they embark on a narrative journey across all of the games of Warhammer Age of Sigmar you play. Already excited for this, so yep, definitely let's go. What did it say? So, we do mean all. So 2, you can earn points towards your Path to Glory quests, and more on those later. Even if you aren't fighting in a narrative play game, you won't be able to use the bonuses you've accumulated to get extra edge in match play. You won't be, okay. But the matches will still count towards your campaign progress. Even the most unfortunate of tournament losing streaks can be turned into a narrative victory if you manage to finish a quest or 2. Or you just play each and say, you know, it was... You probably would lose your games if you're playing Zeech, but if you were playing Zeech and you lost, you'd say just as planned, I suppose. Nice picture there. Hopefully these guys, a very close proximity to lob your grenades from the Hobgoblins or Hobgrots, you know, copyright purposes there. But no, cool. I'm loving where we can see this rules here, because unlike previous, not really editions, but just like new General's Handbooks coming out, I suppose also second edition as well for Age of Sigmar, they never really bigged up that they were going to update the narrative side that much, and going into this they've really put emphasis on the narrative being very big, important, and truly like a different way to play the game from match play. So hopefully they are going to deliver. Looks like so far, hopefully they are. So it says, but wait, what is a Path to Glory campaign and how do you start one? Path to Glory is rather similar to the Crusade game mode in Warhammer 40,000, allowing you to string several games together into one big narrative that sees your own army level up, get stronger, and become truly exceptional. As for getting one going, it's as easy as following 5 simple steps that will get you campaigning in no time. So just so you guys know, in terms of real life playing Age of Sigmar, I've played Silver Tower and Warhammer Underworlds and stuff, but I haven't actually played an Age of Sigmar game since, you know, COVID, apart from on TTS, which I played a lot on, but actually rolling dice playing Age of Sigmar. So when I actually played my first Age of Sigmar game in real life, I'm very tempted just to go straight into this. So whatever this says here, I might be doing just to get straight into that narrative. I know a lot of people around me, it's like we've got Ian in the chat from earlier, very much care about the narrative rather than you turn up, you try and get more victory points than your opponent, and that's it. And I enjoy the competitive side, and clearly that's what I've been focusing on, but I really want to, like I say, focus on the story. I think it's really cool, especially how, like, I've got this, there's a website where you can design maps and stuff, and I've done that. I've shown you guys that in a battle report between Fleshy Courts and Gloons by Gits, and I really like the idea of making like a map and then putting points on the place and stuff where you're fighting and how that's working. So the bonuses you get from fighting your narrative games and taking over enemy strongholds and stuff like that, if that is a thing, you can actually do it on a map as well. And like this map website, I've forgotten the name, but if anyone's interested, comment down below and I'll try and find out. Not sponsored by them or anything, but it's really, really quite cheap. 2+ Tough did a video on it. So anyway, going on to this. So first one we've got is step 1. So choose a faction and realm. So The first step is to choose the faction of your Path to Glory army and its place of origin. You can choose any Warhammer Age of Sigmar faction as long as it's from Grand Alliance Death. And then it says you can't change your army's faction later unless you start again. So choose wisely. So yeah, you got to pick from the Death Grand Alliance on this one. It's a bit weird, like it's limiting it, but you know, I agree. Death Grand Alliance is the best. It also says that you can pick Slates of Darkness if you like to instead. So there we go. I'm all sorted. The second step is choose a starting size and territory. So the second step is to choose your starting points limit for your Path to Glory army. Will you begin with a small force comprising of just a hero and their retinue, or jump straight into the deep end with a large collection? Depending on your starting size, you will begin with a number of territories under your control. Each type of starter territory will allow you to include a different type of unit in your army. And as you wage war with your Path to Glory army, you will be able to bring more territories under your control and upgrade each of them to unlock powerful effects. So that's pretty good. If any of you guys remember Firestorm, I played that campaign. That was fun. I had like a kind of similar elements to this, but this sounds like a lot more thought's gone into it. But yeah, that's quite good. To be honest, despite, I mean, if I'm putting all my Age of Sigmar armies together, just like lob them all together just to see how many points of Age of Sigmar I've got, I probably got something along the lines of 20,000 points of Age of Sigmar. So like you could see obviously how big of a collection I could start with. So with that, I could go straight in, but to be honest, I'd quite like to start with just something small. I think that'd be really cool. You could play, you know, a few games and all that. You could even, if you start with just one hero and like its retinue, and you've got 5 hours to play your games with your buddies, you could even like progress to like by the end of it, you now have one hero, maybe a support hero, and 3 units. You know, because you've played so many games and you expanded. I'd much rather that than just going straight in with all the big cool stuff, because I feel like there's less to look forward to the further down the line you go. If you already start with cool monsters and stuff, then it's like, well, what have you got to look forward to? That's how I feel anyway. And then number 3, we've got choose your starting size and territory. So in this step, you will start adding units to your Path to Glory army, starting with your Warlord. So presumably your general. That's what they call. I think is it Warlord in 40k for your general. I think it is. Step 4, core enhancements. So once you have added all your units, you can choose their core enhancements. These are the same enhancements that you would be able to give your army in any other battle that uses allegiance abilities. As your campaign progresses, you'll be able to earn bonus enhancements to give to your army. I'm pretty sure, unless it's something new, enhancements are what they're calling magical artifacts. I'm pretty sure that is, because that's how they've worded it before in previous articles. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. But I do think they are like artifacts. And then number 5 is pick your first quest. So the final step to pick your first quest, the goal that your army is trying to achieve. During each battle you will fight, you will be able to further your current quest. Upon its completion, you will gain a reward such as a bonus artifact of power or an endless spell. Okay, so straight away, we find out that enhancements are not artifacts of power, magical artifacts, as far as we're aware, because they've just worded it there. So that's cool. That's interesting. So artifacts of power or endless spell. After you complete this step, your army will be ready to begin its Path to Glory campaign. That is cool. I'm very excited indeed. Yeah, so that sounds pretty cool as well. I'm glad they told us like the 5 steps as well, not like step 1 or, you know, and it's just like barely any information for you to be able to lean from. So I'm just going to go to the chat because I thought I'd read through all of that completely and then I'll get to what you guys think. So we've got Daz saying, loving most of the rules for AOS 3. Not a fan of the reinforcement rule though. I think like, so we talked about, didn't we, that in that video, and I'm not the biggest fan of it either, but I think let's see what happens with points and unit sizes being changed, and you know, before we make our complete and final judgment on that. That's why I'm going to say wait until you till we know all the information. But yeah, if everything stays the same and you know they don't update unit sizes, then yeah, it sucks. And then Edward is saying that it's just like the 40k version Crusade. Hopefully it will be just as good, if not better. That's cool. I mean, I haven't played that. The 40k army I'm slowly building up. So slowly building up a 40k army. This thing's perfect, Crusade. Yeah, my army's like, you know, Imperial Knight, so I don't really know if it works. But yeah, it's that. I'm glad to hear that the 40k one's good, and if this is going to be based on it and it's maybe improved, even better. And then we've got Ray saying hi. So hi, mate. Hope you're doing well. And he's saying that someone posits the German version of the point cost of the Dominion box units on Reddit. Oh, they posted it. Cool. I haven't seen that at all. So if you're on the Discord, mate, pop it in the Discord. Or hasn't already been on that. Join the AOS Discord, Agent Nagash Discord. Put it in that, and then I'll see that. But thank you for letting us know. And then Robert is going, I'm loving the new rules. Also, I would say for reinforcement points, maybe when armies like Skaven and Gloomspite get their new books, they might get more plus minimum size could be upped. Robert has made a really good point there. I saw that it might have been Robert who made it the other day when we were talking about it, but someone made it. And it's a very good point. If you look at Skaven, you will go, like, oh, you know, if you think of Skaven bravery, you go, oh, their bravery is terrible, right? When I played a Skaven, because instead of for every 10 models you have in a unit where you +1 to your bravery in the battleship space, the Skaven +2. So they, you know, bend and twist, you know, very sneakily being Skavens, the core mechanics of the game. And the same way as certain armies like Skaven again and Gloomspite gets may bend that certain core mechanic. So, you know, we don't know all the information, like I say. So we'll hold up on, I'll hold up anyway on my final opinions on that. So what we got next, and this is what happens to the minions of Nagash. All they can see is Nagash. What is that in reference to? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I mean, Nagash is all and always one of Nagash. And then Obama saying, and Nagash is all. Yeah, Nagash is everything. Damn right he does. I don't know if I'm missing something out here. I mean, he probably has nothing to do after all. A certain brawl with the weird elf guy. Look, I mean, tech lists are cheap. That's all I'm going to say. And then Bumble saying that super disappointed that the army books aren't dropping at the same time as Dominion. Yeah, like I'm trying to think of the reason why, but it's whatever reason, which means Games Workshop makes more money, because everyone won't be able to buy Dominion anyway, but everyone wouldn't be able to buy Dominion and maybe buy the army book as well, or like the limited edition army book. So maybe they're spreading the cost out, so more people are more likely to buy all the stuff in the long run. Could be what it is. And then Crypt Shadow saying, well, we see the all the rules pre-order day. Well, we won't see all the rules like for the core books. For the core rules of Age of Sigmar 0.3, we won't see it until you buy it yourself. Basically, if that's in reference of like, well, why review it on pre-order day? I don't get sent stuff from Games Workshop, so I won't be doing that, but I'm sure there's other YouTubers who do. So going on to the next thing is, if you're familiar with Warhammer 40,000's Crusade campaign system, you'll have a pretty good idea of the sorts of things you'll be doing next. Going on missions, improving your units and heroes, that kind of thing. But there are a few key differences that make a Path to Glory campaign an even deeper narrative experience. For example, as seen above, you'll be able to choose what kind of territory you want surrounding your headquarters. Here are a few of the places you can set up your routes. So it says starting territory. So the old, okay, so you have, so here are 3 of the ones you can choose. So an old keep. So this lonely keep and the lands around it are ruled by a powerful vassal to your domain. So the basic effects. So increase the hero limit on your order of battle by 1. That's cool. Yep. So I can already start seeing how all this is going to work out, which is nice. And then we've got arcane waypoints. So ley lines of Eldritch power coalesce here. So increase the wizard limit on your order of battle by 1. So surely an arcane waypoint is better than old keep, because it means you could still bring a hero, but it could just be a wizard as well. But then if you have an old keep, you could bring a wizard who's also a hero, right? Because most wizards are heroes. maybe not. Maybe it's written that you have to choose a hero with without the wizard keyword. Something like that, probably. Otherwise, I don't really know the difference, actually. And then you've got Ancient Roads. So your allies can swiftly come to your aid with these roads under your control. Increase the allied unit limit on your order of battle by 1. That's cool. Because it's narrative, you're probably going to want to mix your units a bit more because, you just want to be able to bring cool stuff to the table. And then it says, of course, a few palisade walls and a log cabin won't keep you safe for very long. And you're going to have to start upgrading your stronghold. That's where glory comes in, and you'll earn this in-game currency by playing and winning matches, and there are lots of ways you can spend it. Why not add space for a few more barracks and extra outposts to your domain? Like, this is already, I'm really liking the sound of this, as you can already tell. And this is probably my favorite article I've read through so far, all the new stuff and what I'm enjoying. So it says imposing. So firstly, that's a cool picture of Better Call there. And then it says imposing stronghold. So prerequisite, I don't know, location, stronghold. Costs 30 points. Territories, you can now control 6 areas of territory at once. Barracks, your stronghold can have up to 5 barracks. Outposts, you can establish up to 2 outposts. Outposts are these, I believe, I think. And then from what I remember. And then barracks is maybe up to 5, means you can have up to 5 units. Would be interesting. So it then goes on saying the last step from the list above is selecting your first quest, and it's these bonuses objectives that will grant you access to all kinds of exotic artifacts, war scroll battalions, and even bonus glory points. Completing quests is one of the key ways you'll increase the power of your army, so always keep an eye out for a chance to score them while you're battling away with your opponent. So you've got some quests there. I like this rather than, obviously, the narrative of your quest, you can make whatever you want, right? But what I like about this is instead of it just going like, all right, what's your narrative? I don't know, to reclaim our homeland, very stereotype one. It's like, okay, so when is that achieved? When you've reclaimed your home, what does that even mean? So it's nice that they've written some out that you can theme your narrative around, which I think is better. So quest is form warriors into a battalion. Okay, so they're quite straightforward, presumably. So you have been rigorously training your warriors to fight as one, but the battlefield will be the true test of their mettle. So pick one war scroll battalion or core war scroll battalion and write it down in the quest reward section of your quest log. At the end of a Path to Glory battle, if there are enough friendly units on the battlefield to fulfill the minimum requirements of the battalion's organization, then you complete this quest. If there aren't, then in order to complete the quest, you can spend 1 glory point for each additional unit needed to fulfill the requirement. When you complete this quest, you can add the battalion you picked to your vault. Yep, that sounds cool. And then the next one is master magical law. So a wizard in your army seeks to master a mighty spell to aid you in battle. Pick one spell from a spell lore that your faction has access to, and that is not already on your Path to Glory roster. Write it down in the quest reward section of your quest log. So they're really putting a big feature on the book that's going to come out of this for you to write down your notes with, the quest log. Like, if it's only like £5 to £10 or something, then, and it's just because it's just blank paper, apart from it's got all the sections written out for you to put your notes in and stuff. It's just got loads of tables in it, basically. I think, £5, £10, that's fine. If they make it like £30, and it's like, you won't get loads of people doing this. So what it says is each Path to Glory battle, add 1 quest point to the progress section of your quest log each time the cast and roll for a friendly wizard is 8+. In addition, the end of each Path to Glory battle, you can spend 1 glory point to gain 1 additional quest point. Once you have gained 3 or more quest points, you complete this quest. When you complete this quest, you can add the spell that you picked to your vault. So that's good. So clearly, if you have, wizards in your army that have got bonuses to their cast, it's going to help them. But you can see synergy there. If you're playing Soulblight Gravelords, put in a corpse cart, there's probably other armies that you just get generic buffs to their casting anyway. So that's cool. And then the last thing it says here, so that's all we have time for today. The Path to Glory campaigns have a lot more in store for you. Did we mention you can give your regular units extra abilities not usually found on their war scroll? To learn more, you'll have to peek inside the upcoming rulebook. So in the meantime, make sure you stay stay up to date with the latest Warhammer Age of Sigmar, subscribe to the newsletter, watch my videos, blah, blah, blah. And then it says you can actually earn the largest chunk of glory points by playing a match, even if you don't win. So don't be afraid to hurl your warband into all kinds of new and interesting situations, which kind of sounds like old military history. But what I will say is that sounds pretty good. Again, they're not going to tell us everything about it, but they've got enough to get me hooked and not disappointed like a lot of these articles are doing. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. It's got me excited to do some narrative battles when it comes out. If it's not too expensive, I will buy the narrative quest log. I think so. I really do want to give this a go, and I know a lot of people locally to me who will want to give it a go as well. So yeah, big fan of that. Let me know your thoughts as well on what you think of this. Are you a fan of the narrative? Will you give Path to Glory a go? Let me know in the chat. And just to catch up the chat, we've got Robert saying that Necrons and Space Marines books didn't come out for about a month after Indomitus. Don't know why I can't pronounce that right now. That's really annoying. But yes, I think the Stormcast and the Nighthaunt one came out straight away with Soul Wars. I think they did. So the next one we've got is from Slothman saying, it'd be pretty cool if someone can make a good and interesting campaign map for this with all the structure and difference in terrain and the likes. Like I said, there's that website where you can make your own map. So you really probably could once you have a better understanding of how all this works. Sloth for sure. So obviously, let me know your thoughts on that. While I am going to go on to the Sylvaneth one now. So this is I didn't realize about this one as well. Let's have a quick look at this. Apologies. I don't think this, when I had this loaded up, this wasn't on it originally. So I don't think this is going to be important that we know all this stuff. This is just what's coming on pre-order. Yeah, we don't know any prices. I think we've been shown all this. Yeah, we've been shown all this. Cool. Yeah, that's all the stuff pre-order. Basically, we've talked about this before. I did an article on it previously, and they won't be telling you the prices here. So, but there might be leaked prices online. But on that aside, let us go on to the Sylvaneth one. So the Sylvaneth have grown strong in the rich soil, the new edition. So I don't think they've mentioned that this is the best edition yet, to be fair. So that's pretty cool. It says that a new edition of Warhammer Age of Sigmar is right around the corner, and it's bringing some big changes to the way some of your favorite factions play. We've been looking at a new army each day, and now the time has come to peer into the wild places of the mortal realms and see how the Sylvaneth are doing. So let us have a little look-see. So if you fancy vengeful spirits of the forest willing to do whatever it takes to keep those who would despoil their territory from harming even a single branch, the Sylvaneth might be just right for you. And who are these Sylvaneth? I described them in a very brutal fashion and stuff. If you want to check out my Why I Play Sylvaneth video. But it said, who are the Sylvaneth? So Alariel, the Everqueen, the goddess of life, leads legions of fierce fleet forest phantoms to war. Through these spirits are empowered by life magic. They're far from the peace-loving fairy folk of children's tales, Disney's and everything else. Their roots drank deep of the blood-tainted waters of endless war. I was going to say water. And they have been bent towards vengeance, their branches twisting into tearing claws. So the Sylvaneth seem to spring up from everywhere and nowhere, materializing where they're least expected and vanishing as quickly as they came. A canny Sylvaneth general can threaten the entire board during the games you'll play, striking your opponents, hampering your opponents' efforts to pin them down or basically beat you on that front. And like Sylvaneth really needs some help, so they're building up Sylvaneth to go, oh, they're the bane of the mortal realms, and you're fighting against them. They're not really, are they? If I turn up and someone's playing Sylvaneth, I'm generally like, fucking yes. So it goes on to say that When it came time to ask our playtesters teams about the Sylvaneth, Laurie, is that? I'm dyslexic. I think that's Laurie. Certainly not Larry. So Laurie, Hugo, I don't know how you pronounce that. So anyway, a very nice person leapt at the chance to talk about them. He's a it's definitely Laurie then. He's a big fan, having played them quite successfully in competitive Warhammer Age Sigmar tournaments for years. That's very good then, if he's managed to do that. And then, so just before I go into that, I'm going to read what we've got here. So Crypt Shadow is saying that seems some have the box already and have down some off the scale in the same. Is that the new Dominion box set? I don't know if it's YouTube has been sent them early, or it's like, I know obviously some people get sent stuff early, or it might be individuals. But it's weird, right? Because it's not even pre-order weekend. So yeah, that's weird, that, because you think, like, obviously if you said next weekend on the 19th we're seeing all the models from Dominion, people painting them up and stuff, I'd go, oh yeah, because some people get the copies early. Yeah, I don't know, Crypt Shadow. Surely some people get it early, and it's not fair on the rest of us. So then Bumble was saying, poor Sylvaneth. I mean, that's just been the way for the last how many years. And then Bumble was saying the eternal F for the okay, so I'll keep reading then. And then yeah, Crypt Shadow's just saying, sorry, sorry, I just woke up, Dominion box, yeah, saw a picture on Reddit. Yeah, I don't know, man. Someone obviously, it's like Soulblight Gravel about him. All the leaks for that came out before the people who get it early to review it even did their reviews on it, which is, I'm sure, was annoying for them, because I'm sure they like the views they get from those videos, and someone's already beaten them to it, which was I found quite funny. So I'm going to call this person Laurie. I think that's how it's pronounced. So it says, Laurie's an experienced Sylvaneth commanders. Laurie, experienced Sylvaneth commander, will find that the new edition of Warhammer Age of Sigmars is going to benefit them in a number of different ways, with changes that encourage armies to be built primarily with minimum-sized units. Strong units like Kurnoth Hunters, Tree Remnants, and Spike Remnants will do quite well. Reinforced Dryad units still form a vital core of your army, of course, and the Awakened Wildwood is an essential as ever. Okay, so they've put some rules here and stuff as well. So let's see. So it says, the Sylvaneth benefit from a boost to some of their command abilities and artifacts. The Tree Lord Ancient command ability, which triggers in the hero phase, can give a huge chunk of your army additional protection. So the Tree Lord Ancient's command ability, which is Heed the Spirit Song. So you can use this command ability in your hero phase. If you do so, pick one friendly model with this command ability. Until your next hero phase, you can reroll save rolls for 1 for attacks that target Sylvaneth units wholly within 12 inches of that model. So with the changes of, what do you call it? All-out defense. Is all-out defense? Yeah, I think it's called all-out defense being now +1 instead of a reroll 1 to save. Obviously, this stacks up more nicely with that, and this is used in the hero phase, so it will stack up for then in the combat phase. I think that stayed the same, but it's just more useful now. I think I'm not like a Sylvaneth player. And then it says, especially with Kurnoth Hunters extending its effective range. Yeah, that's true, because they can be. They're just going to tell us how it works. So the Envoy of the Everqueen. So if a friendly Sylvaneth hero uses a command ability, friendly Sylvaneth units wholly within 12 inches of this unit are treated as being in range of that command ability. So it might seem wholly within 12 seems small, but because the Kurnoth Hunters, you can treat them as being the aura, then it actually can be quite big and quite wide. It says, with so many more command points in play, your heroes can utilize more of the cool abilities your Sylvaneth possess. So a war grave that caught my eye in the new edition is Narut. So their ability to reroll hit rolls of 1 for units near a wizard handy. So what their allegiance ability is reroll hit rolls of 1 for attacks made by friendly Narut units while they are wholly within 12 inches of any friendly Narut wizards. Obviously, it's based around your wizards, but you reroll ones to hit. And if that was the same before, if it used to be reroll ones, like with the reroll ones to save, all out defense and like all out attack has changed. So you could get yourself +1 to your hit rolls with the all-out attack, and then with this, so now you've suddenly got that +1 to hit and that reroll ones, rather than just like not being able to stack, obviously, reroll ones twice. So it synergizes better. It says, but coupled with the add-in hit, honestly, I haven't read this beforehand, so yeah. So, but coupled with the add-in 1 to hit rolls from all attack command ability is very potent indeed. It is. And then, yeah, we know that. And then just imagine a Larial Spear of kind of hitting on 2s, rerolling the odd 1 that makes it 3. The odd 1, I'm sure every time someone ever tries to roll this thing, it fails, right? But before we go into the biggest winners, I'm just going to catch up with the chat. So Crypt Shadow is saying that my best guess are people who paint them for stores are getting them. I don't even know like why the stores would have them. Do you mean like Games Workshop stores when they do like the intro boards and stuff? And I don't think they would even have them. That maybe that might be the best bet. But they certainly won't be happy if they're taking pictures of it and putting it on the internet. Gwell was here, so hi, nice to see you again. So he says, I strongly believe that they will be much better in the new edition because I honestly don't think they can get worse. So hopefully, points for the Sylvaneth compared to other armies, they'll look good on points. Alarial did go up in points. She got better, but she did go up. I mean, honestly, I don't think they should have up to a point at all. Just kept it the same. I know she's got better, but just keep it the same for God's sake. And then Crypt Shadow talking about the Dominion box set, saying that no local stores get them early. All right, okay. Maybe that's the case. Yeah, I think so if they're getting them early and people painting them up, Games Workshop won't be happy with them putting pictures on the internet. That's all I can say with that one. And then going on with the biggest winners. Okay, so I don't agree with Steve Curtis's opinion of saying Nagash is a massive winner in the new edition, but let's see if I feel any different with Laurie's one. So the biggest winners. So while the entire army has gotten a boost in the new edition of Warhammer Age Sigmar, some units fared even better than others. With regards to rules updates, Laurie was kind enough to share his top 3 picks for essential units. A layer of the Everqueen, because they probably haven't sold one for about, 2 years. The same with Nagash. Laurie is saying that Alarial rules update in the Broken Realms Cragness make her even more of a powerhouse. She wasn't even again, I'm not a Sylvaneth player, and this guy is a Sylvaneth player, and he's clearly done very well. He's probably better than me at the game, but she wasn't a powerhouse before. Come on, stop being so biased. But it says combined with her ability to heal 2d6 wounds each hero phase with an extra 1d3 from heroic recovery. With the monster keyword, Alarial can initiate a Titanic dual monster rampage in the combat phase, making her both her and her Northdrop beetle even more deadly, especially if you use her command ability, Gyran's Wrath, to re-roll those rare failed wounds. I mean, that's a lot of healing. I'm not saying now she's not good. I'm just saying back then, saying that, Alarial, almost too good for a point. Absolute lie. And then Gyran's Wrath. So if this model in your army, if this model is in your army even, you can use this command ability at the start of the combat phase. If you do so, you can reroll wound rolls of 1 for attacks made by friendly Sylvaneth units wholly within 14 inches of this model until the end of that phase. Yeah, so that's good. I think it used to be just once per game, or maybe that was the old book. I haven't fought against Sylvaneth, surprise, for a long time. But yes, obviously that helps out. And then you've got Spirit of Durfu saying that I always think the Spirit of Durfu is pretty good. I think it's pretty cool. So Spirit of Durfu he's saying that a Spirit of Durfu has always had the potential of doing staggering damage. It certainly has. And even more so with the new boost, he can make use of the Finest Hour for a once per game +1 to wound, along with the all-out attack ability, granting him a 1+ to hit to make him a death-dealing beast. Combined with the Harvest Being a War Growth ability to reroll 1 to hit if they make a charge move, plus an extra attack for the Fertilized Ground and a Silent Sickle artifact for another, and you've got 6 attacks hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s, and wounding on 2 pluses. causing up to 6 wounds for each failed save. Simply amazing. Yeah, like that clearly say where he is a really good player from, you know, being able to pick those things out and just say how much you can make the Spirit of Death a beast. I mean, just try and hide behind your trees to make sure the enemy can't shoot you, I would presume. And then we've got the Kernel Hunters, so with bows. So that's cool, because I think they're the coolest ones with the bows. So Laurie is saying that with 5 wounds each, Kernel Hunters count for 2 models on objectives, making it difficult for your opponent to shift a unit of 6. The Heartwood Grove, Wargrove artifact of power allows them to re-roll their bow shots, with a fantastic, which is fantastic when combined with all attack. Just to say, like they've mentioned this with like monsters going like, oh, they count as like 2 models on an objective and stuff. That they said it with the Gothizzar Harvester, I believe. And then they've said it here because they've got, you know, more than 5 wounds. You know, they count as 2 models each. I don't think they actually like, unless I missed it, I don't remember them stating that's a new rule, but they're just dropping it in. So yeah, maybe they did say it and I missed it, but if not, then it's just like drip feeding us that. So the Horn of the Consort. So this is the Heartwood artifact power. So you can reroll hit rolls for attacks made by friendly Heartwood Kernel Hunters wholly within 12 inches of the bearer. Bear in mind that can be for melee as well. So Kernel Hunters also pose a real threat when charged, as they unleash hell and fire at the oncoming unit, still benefiting from that reroll. Yeah, okay, so that ties in well with that. We've already talked about this. I've already. I don't think we talked about Rally. Finally, if your opponent does somehow take a chunk out of them and leaves you with just a couple left, you can use Rally in your turn. Each 6 you roll will bring back an entire Kernel Hunter with all 5 wounds refreshed. Yeah, I do remember this. We did talk about that. So yeah, that's true. And then it says, thanks. I mean, that's good for any army, though. Well, you know, not just... Not just like Sylvaneth take the best advantage of this. No, that's good for, you know, Monfang. I'm pretty sure they've got more wounds. Morgasts Archive, you know. Anyway, so thanks for the wise words, Laurie. Some armies really reap the benefit of the added command points in the new edition of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and Laurie's points out that Sylvaneth can certainly be counted among them. So as a new season of strife descends upon the mortal realms, why not take up the war song with start collecting Sylvaneth box and a battle tome? If you prefer your armies scuttling in the dank shadows and feasting on toxic mushrooms, you should stop by for a look at our next faction tomorrow. So that's Gloomspite Gits, obviously. So I'm just going to catch up on the chat. I think that, like, nothing amazing there, but I think it does show that, you know, Sylvaneth will hopefully be better in the new edition than the edition we're in now, unlike the Ostrich Bone Reapers, but I just wasn't happy with it at all. So we've got Crypt Shadow is saying that I'm hoping Sylvaneth do get better. They have some amazing sculpts, but sadly they seem to need a slight rework. The whole tree terrain clutch didn't seem fun. Yeah, they just need a helping hand, and hopefully they're going to get it. Well, we're saying I guess she was strong for a god model, but she was easily the weakest of the god tier models. But I will admit she is looking a lot better with the new War Scroll and 3.0 rules coming. Yeah, she certainly is. I know she went up in points. I think she's now, am I wrong by saying she's 720, 740 points now, maybe? But she's definitely got better in terms of rules, for sure. Slothman is saying, so she's going to be a super tank. Just have to hope Gotrek doesn't one-turn her. I mean, everyone talks about Gotrek, but I've never played against him, and he came out a long time ago, despite COVID. All these, like on TTS, I played countless games, and I've never gone against Gotrek, and I've gone against a lot of Order armies. So, like, everyone keeps mentioning Gotrek, but I think he's just a boogeyman that doesn't really turn up that much. But, you know, maybe it just happens to be what I've fought against. But yeah, he can clearly one-turn a lot of stuff. And then Bumble saying, I think she needs an extra cast or 2 as well. What does she cast? Is it 3 casts she does at the moment? Maybe like plus as the cast would be useful. Slothman is then saying, we'd love to see a buff for Drycha, considering how much Games Workshop likes to bundle her. Yeah, that would be cool. Drycha did work really well, I think, in Living City, but then I think her War Scroll, it might have changed, so she doesn't work as well, and then maybe, can't remember. And then we've got Raceland saying that some armies really reap the benefit of the new command point, Ostrich Bone Reapers, not yet. Again, the only thing that was a point that was made yesterday when we talked about Ostrich Bone Reapers is that although obviously, you know, it sucks, distant points, you're not getting more, everything else, there's nothing about that. Don't want to go into all that again. But maybe, unlike the new armies where it's like they can't use more than one command ability on the same unit in the same phase, maybe the Ossiarch Bone Reapers can. So, you know, that's something to hold on to, maybe, you know, so like that's one thing, but maybe that's not the case. Maybe when we find all the information, it won't be. But, you know, sad times also Bone Reapers, but hopefully happy times for the Sylvaneth, who do deserve happy times more. So with that, guys, I'm going to do my outro thing now. But if anyone's got any more questions or anything you want to ask me, let me know when I'm doing my usual outro stuff, and I will answer you before I end the video. So put it in the chat if you would like to. Let me know your thoughts on everything we've gone over today. So if you did enjoy this video, please do me an absolute favor and smash the like button on this video, and then smash the subscribe button, and then smash the bell notification. So what this means is by smashing the like button, firstly, it shows to me that you enjoy this sort of content, and there's more chance I'm going to make more of it. So that's either if you guys are wanting me to make more stuff on Sylvaneth, like this video, or more stuff on news, like this video. It also shows to YouTube that people are enjoying this video. So by liking the video, they see that maybe they need to recommend it to more people that don't know the channel, and it really helps the channel out that way. Then by subscribing to the channel, at the end of the day, that's obviously how the channel grows, isn't it? You know, if you manage to smash that subscribe button, I don't know, I'll love you forever. And then if you smash the bell notification, it means you'll never miss a future one of my videos. How good would that be? And the other thing I'd like to say is, if you think you know someone else who would enjoy this video, make sure you share it with them, as that helps out the channel as well. And if you would like to join the Age of Nagash Discord, where we have something along the lines of 280 people in it now, it's a buzzing Discord, literally like the Realm of Death. Well, I do call it the Realm of Death, but I was going to say the Realm of Life, buzzing with life. But loads of people talking on it about the news, everything else, loads on the just gameplay tactics, also painting tips and all those sort of things. So join me if you want to find a conversation there. People also hang out and chat and paint and all that sort of thing if you'd like to get involved in that, because you can't really paint in stores and stuff at the moment. And then the only other thing I want to say as well is say a massive thank you to all of my YouTube members and my patrons. So again, I don't know why StreamYard is not allowing me to put this picture overlap onto where we see the Sylvaneth stuff, but I'll read the names anyway. So basically what I'm going to ask you guys, if you can support the channel that step further, it would mean the world to me if you could click the join button, which would take you to become a member here in Age of Nagash, where you can give just $1 a month, or sorry, £1 a month on that. Really, really small, but massively makes a huge difference in keeping the channel going. I have got a link to my Patreon in the top of the description down below. You click that link, it will take you to my Patreon. You can give just from $1 a month on that one. And like I always say, if it wasn't for any YouTube members or patrons, I wouldn't be able to keep this up, because it doesn't pay back the money I spend and the time and the effort I put into this. Like I say, if it was a business, I would be making a loss every month. But what it shows to me, if people are willing to support me on this much on a personal level, then that means I can justify everything I put into this channel. So if you could support me in that way, please press that join button, or go and check out my Patreon on the link down below. Even if it's just $1 a month, it would mean the world to me. So thank you so much if you could do that. And the people who made that amazing decision already is going to be my patrons and my YouTube members, like I mentioned. So my biggest supporter is, of course, going to be Filq, because he is my one and only vampire lord on zombie dragon. So at that tier, he has given an incredible amount of support to the channel. Really, really kind and generous too. The channel just shows how much of a nice guy he is. And thank you so much for that, Filq, and please keep it up. It really does make a huge difference just on that alone. And then my Morgasts, who's Bleed Red, who's been a Morgast now for a long time and is really, really nice and helpful with that tier as well. So thank you so much. And then my vampires, who are the core of what makes Age of Nagash work. So that is going to be to Mir, Stence, Rouse321, David A, Dragoonity, Ronni H, Darren L, SpareBear, Christopher H, Northdrop, Nathan F, Andrew G, Ben C, Wiggy Whooty, and Anthony R. So I want to say a particular shout out to Anthony R, who, because of him, he has recently decided to become a patron and to become a vampire at that. So that's really, really kind of you, mate. Thank you so much for that level of support. And you won't regret it. It really is going to help the channel. And literally, like I said, it wasn't for any of my YouTube members or my patrons, you wouldn't be watching me talk now, as I wouldn't be doing this. So thank you so much for that, Anthony. Really, really kind of you to make that decision. And then my Necromancers, who is Jacq.l, RadiationRiley, AW77, Dice Sagas, WolfNick, Michal W, Cranky Wombat, Madcap, Crystal C, Crystal F, James S, Thomas B, Steve T, James T, Patrick F, JJ, R Christopher, and Sception. Thank you all so much for allowing me to keep this up and to help try and get people into Warhammer, particularly Age of Sigmar, and to try and help them continue their Age of Sigmar journey best I can. At the end of the day, spread this community that we all love and enjoy. You know, more people get into this hobby, you know, the more chance the hobby is not going to die, which the hobby is buzzing, which is absolutely fantastic, isn't it? So just going to go check out your chat questions before I end out. But we've got Gwell saying, Gotrek is going to be even more OP in the new edition with all the bonuses. His problem is he is so easy to kite. Just stay out of his charge. Yeah, he's slow. You know, it's hard to tie him up with things, but almost like just block him with stuff. Yeah, that's how you do it. Racing is saying, see you, mate. Thank you very much for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed today's video. And then Crypt Shadow is saying, thanks for making these videos. Enjoy the insight and interaction. You're very welcome, Crypt Shadow. Anytime that you're watching my videos, especially when you know when it's live and stuff, definitely put your questions and stuff in the chat and I'll happily read them out, as long as it's not things that are going to stop my videos being monetized. Like the last couple of videos haven't been able to be monetized, which is annoying, but I think that's probably from what I've said than anything else. There's one I haven't been happy with GW, the cost. And then Bumble was saying, thank you, sir. You're very welcome, sir. Thank you very much for stopping by and asking your questions. Means a lot. And then Crypt Shadow is saying, this is just enabling his zombie model addiction. I'll be honest, I own more zombie dragons than zombie models themselves. But I'm more than happy to start my zombie model addiction if I got enough patrons and YouTube members. But with that aside, guys, like I said, if anyone would like to become a YouTube member or Patreon, click the join button or the link down below. It would mean the world to me. But if you can't do that, that's absolutely fine, no worries. But if you do enjoy the video, all I ask is that you, like I said, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, smash the bell notification. 3 easy clicks, literally do them in a millisecond. And also, it's absolutely free. So what's not to, enjoy about that? And, it's the least you can do if you enjoy the content, really, because it's free. I have no excuses for you. But with that aside here, more than anything else, just glad you came and watched this video today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. I think today was a nice day of news. I mean, my expectations of the faction articles, the army articles, basically is massively down. Like I'm not expecting much from them at all, but I'm really happy and excited from the narrative stuff that we saw today. So it was a good day, much better than yesterday. Yeah. So with that aside, guys, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you have a great rest of your day, no matter whereabouts in the world you are and what time it is. Remember to next time to stay safe, stay hygienic, wear a mask, and for God's sake, wash your hands, because it means when you've got clean hands, instead, if you're playing Nurg or Sinesh, different story. But with every other army, clean your hands, roll your dice better, more 6s, as long as it's not the Battleship phase. But more importantly than all of that is remember until next time that Nagash is all, and all is one in Nagash.